Europe may not be speaking German yet, but thanks to the crisis, everyone everywhere these days knows the meaning of the word Angst. The Chancellor's square-jawed office building is nicknamed the washing machine here in Berlin, and a visiting David Cameron, that's him in the limo, could be excused for feeling as if he was on his way to an uncomfortable spin cycle with a woman waiting behind the sliding doors. Perhaps that's why they only let us film the welcoming embrace on the red carpet from a very long distance and behind bars. When the insults have been flying across Europe, you never know what kind of body language you'll get on a tricky date. While they sat down for lunch, we went off to take the pulse. It's been a week of fear and loathing on the markets, but also on the streets of Europe, and the tabloids have done their bit. So here's the vintage sampling. The Daily Mail with "Springtime from Merkel," the German Chancellor goose-stepping there and giving a Nazi salute. Not to be outdone, the Bild Zeitung, Germany's best-selling tabloid, has said, "Mr. Cameron, Europe does speak German, and what are you English doing in the EU anyway?" That's the kind of emotional backdrop to the working lunch between the Prime Minister and the Chancellor. An hour later, they were ready to face the cameras. They still didn't see eye to eye on the banking tax, and it didn't help that her finance minister had been predicting the downfall of the pound. But considering all that, the chemistry between them was far from toxic.
Thank you, Angela.
Matt Fried from Channel 4 News. Prime Minister, you famously called for a bazooka to deal with this crisis. But aren't we just getting one BB gun of very narrow national interest after another? And that includes the response from Berlin and London. Und Frau Kanzlerin, falls ich darf, heute in der Bild-Zeitung steht, was wollen die Engländer eigentlich noch in der EU? What do the Brits still want in the EU?
Well, my German isn't that good. I think a bazooka is a Superwaffe. Am I right? No, someone's shaking their head. Look, the point that the Chancellor and I would agree about, whatever you call this, is that we need to take decisive action to help stabilise the Eurozone.
But decisive action is precisely what's been missing, as Europe has splintered into bickering nation-states. So what about the German tabloids' call on Britain to quit Europe? The fact that we're both standing here, how we're standing and what we're saying shows that we need each other in Europe. You could practically hear the Prime Minister's sigh of relief. And they are, after all, both centre-right leaders who believe in belt-tightening. It's just that Germany's belt has a much shinier buckle. On Berlin's Grand Unter den Linden, a car showroom offers a lesson in economic reality. They're gawping at two of the world's finest cars, a French Bugatti, a British Bentley, now both owned and beautifully made by Volkswagen of Germany. Germany may indeed have Europe's strongest economy, but without the euro, its famous exports would also suffer. In this crisis, every nation has its own priorities, but thanks to the euro, they're also all joined at the hip. They could learn something from this lot. Pedal together, move forward, and do it all over a beer.